Howdy YouTube, my name's Nate. You're watching Nate's Road Life. So today we got us a whole list of things we need to get taken care of. We got to change the propane regulator on a camper. We got to clean out the underbelly, go through some stuff. We're going to throw some ribs on the grill to eat for dinner tonight. So first things first, we got to get this grill fired up, and then we'll go around there, change out that propane regulator. All right, everybody, it's time to change out this propane regulator. Let's get this tank out of the way first. Make sure you shut the propane off. I'm gonna go in the house right quick and light the stove, burn the propane out. That thing right there will turn red whenever all that propane's burnt out. All right, got that taken care of. I'm busting these fittings loose here. Everything that I try to take off is just twisted. Let me see if I can get you guys in here. So at first I'm just trying to take this loose, but then this whole thing is spinning. That's supposed to swivel right here, but it's not. So then I thought, well, I'll bust this loose. Well, then the whole pipe spins. So I guess that I could get into why we're doing this in the first place is because we have a on-demand tankless water heater, and it doesn't want to work properly anymore, which I am extremely skeptical that this is going to fix it, but we're going to try. So it keeps throwing an E1 error code, and according to all the research that I've done and its owner's manual and all that, the E1 error code states that it's not getting enough propane, basically. So we're going to change out the regulator and see if by putting a new regulator on it, if that helps. I really do not think that that's going to help, but we'll start there first. All right, got the new regulator here. Just got to take the mounting bracket off of this side, or off of this one, put it on that one. Alright, we got the mounting hardware put back on here. Start putting all this back together. This here is a sort of compression fitting, but they had pipe dope on it from the factory, so I'm going to go ahead and put some on there, some Teflon on there. Just redundancy. There's nothing wrong with redundancy. Look, now it's swiveling. Worked out good. There's some crud down inside of this thing. I don't really know what it is. I'm trying to think of what I use this socket for, but some silicone or something outside of it. So it's like trying to push the screws back out. Alright, now we put this back on. This is just a compression fitting, but it's like a normal compression fitting. That other one was kind of weird. It had, I don't know, I never saw one of them before, so I just put some Teflon on it anyway. But this one here, I'm confident that we don't have to. Alright, she's tight. Now I just have this one here to clean up, put on. And then I got a couple of mounting screws that go in here to hold that regulator on. But other than that, it'll be changed. Alright. Some of this crud out of here. Alright, I gotta find that screw that I dropped. There it is. I don't know why you drop a screw in the rocks, and it is like the hardest thing to find. And it always seems like it's right next to your foot, but you're looking out like 3 or 4 feet, you know. And then once you finally realize it's right next to your foot, you're like, you feel dumb. Or at least that's how it works with me. All right, there it is. Get this stuff out of the way. We'll hook the propane back up, crank her up, test it out, see if it's got any leaks. All right, guys, we have both propane tanks open. I don't really know why it's showing half red, half green. That makes me slightly nervous. But anyway, mixed up some soapy water here. It's just a few drops of Dawn in with some water. Put it on the connections. Make sure that there's no bubbles. And I see none. So that's good. No leaks. All right. I'm gonna go test out the water heater and fingers crossed, hopefully it works. All right, well, unfortunately the water heater is still doing the same thing. I kind of had a feeling it would be, so I'm not even all that depressed. But I've got a couple more things to try on that water heater. We're gonna do that here in just a minute, but first we gotta check out these ribs. They're smelling amazing, so hopefully they are amazing. Them bad boys look good now. We better get them wrapped. All right, now that we took care of dinner, I guess it's time to go address the rest of this water heater. So I have a flow sensor for it and replace that, see if that does anything. I kind of don't feel like that's going to do a whole lot either. I think that it's the control board, honestly, going out in it, because sometimes it lights and runs just fine, sometimes it doesn't. Although it's very particular. The shower, for instance, if you turn the water on in the shower, it lights and stays running almost every time. I mean, there are a few exceptions, but usually it'll fire right up and keep on rolling. The sink in the kitchen, it's sporadic. Sometimes it lights and it stays running, sometimes it lights and then goes out, lights and goes out, and you got to jack with it 3 or 4 times until you get it to finally work. The sinks in the bathroom almost never will, I mean, it won't work. It just won't. I don't know why. I mean, the only way to get hot water out of the sink in the bathroom is to use the shower to get it going, and then turn the hot water on in the sink, and then turn the shower off. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. It never used to do it. It worked perfect on every faucet. It almost never had an error, and then one day all of a sudden it just started having all kinds of errors. And so here we are. But it said E1, which is gas, and it says that you need to check your gas supply. So the only thing I could do really was change the regulator. I don't have all the stuff to test, you know, make sure I got 11 inches of water column is what it calls for. I don't feel like jacking with all that. I just order a new regulator. They're pretty cheap. So anyway, here we are. So let's go put this flow meter for flow regulator sensor, whatever it's called. It's a little deal that senses when there's water flowing through it. So flow sensor, I guess. We'll go change that out right quick and see if that does anything. All right, well, let's find out what all it's going to take to fix this thing. So that actually bolts up there. I'd taken it off for something. I don't know, this whole water heater is kind of jank. But here's the part right here. I think it just pops out. It's probably going to be a little bit more of a pain than that. I think we're going to have to take a couple of things loose. But I don't really know for sure yet. Here's the control panel. Probably unscrew that, pull that out of the way. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit of access to some stuff. I don't know. We'll start taking things apart and see where it leads us, I guess. shut the water off right quick and lead the pressure off of it, see if we can't do something a little different. Can't pull up on it. There's no leverage in there. There it goes. Go figure. They got a zip tie back in there. It's passing through. There's like 3 strands of wires coming up, and then that one, they got a zip tie around it, so I can't just pull it out. Let me see if I can get a set of, I don't know, snips or something to get up in there and cut it. Pretty tight area back in there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in there. Probably gonna mess around and cut the wrong thing. I think I got it. Ta-da. There it is. All right, here's the new one. See if we can't get this thing put in. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out how to run this wire here. I'm sure you guys are enjoying all these nice shots of the back of my head. Unfortunately, I don't really know how else to do this. There we go. That's down on there all the way. Now the hard part is going to be putting this on. This is the clip that holds it on. So on this, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but you've got like a rubber O-ring here, and then up here it's like got a divot in it. Well, that slides into there, and then this slides through. But unfortunately, it doesn't just slide through. You got to squeeze it together to get it to go in, and then it expands. And down here, there's not a whole lot of room down here. Okay, so I guess you can actually push it down too far. So to add another level of complexity to it, let's make it to where you can push it down too far. There, I think it's going. I just gotta put in there. There it goes. Oh, ooh, I think it is. Alright, I'll put this one in. The new one. Try to put this one in. So now, plug these things together. Get the slide together, maybe. There it goes. Alright. Hook this ground wire back up because that's the only real wire that we took off. And then I'm gonna go inside and try it, see if it'll work. Well, it's still doing it. So I don't know. I'm gonna put this thing back together and I'm gonna go work on something that I actually can get taken care of, and that's cleaning out the underbelly. So I don't know, look into this. I guess maybe order another controller or something. I have no idea.